Hi Stampers, this is Kim with Great Inspirations. Welcome. Today I have 3 cards to share with you that I made using a stamp set that will be in the Stampin' Up 22 to 2023 annual catalog. And that stamp set is called Sit, Stay, Relax. It has 3 cute images of chairs with pets sitting on the chairs. There is a cat, or actually 2 cats and a dog. And the sentiments, just sitting here thinking of you, hi friend, missing you, wish you were here, you feel like home to me, and relish the day. Just some sweet little sentiments to send if you're missing a friend or a loved one or just checking in. Now this stamp set is one of the host stamp sets that can be earned with your Stampin' Rewards, and Stampin' Rewards start with a purchase of $150 in Stampin' Up products. So the type of card that we're making today is just kind of a resizing of a classic, and that is the easel card. I like to make easel cards. They're really fun. I've just made this instead of a A2 size, you know, the 4 1/4 with 5 1/2. I've just made it a 4 1/4 square card. And it still fits in a Stampin' Up medium envelope, which is an A2 size envelope. So this little card, here's the little dog sitting on a chair. It says relish the day. And when you open, it's happy birthday. And then, of course, there's space at the top to write your little message. And all I did on this one, I stamped my image, I masked it, and then I added some images in the back for maybe some wallpaper, and then I added this image for a floor. This is from the Lovely You stamp set, and this is from Whiskey Business, and both of those stamp sets will be returning in the new annual catalog. And here's one with the little cat sitting in a chair, just sitting here thinking of you. And this is designer series paper that is from the Cup of Tea designer series paper, which is also featured in the new catalog. And then here's a little cat sitting on a chair. And this is very, very pretty. This cardstock is the new in color Orchid Oasis, and this is glimmer paper called Orchid Oasis, and the glimmer paper comes in all the 5 new in colors, and I'll show you those. Here's the Orchid Oasis, and this is the Sweet Sorbet. As you can see, it kind of has an ombre. Well, it does. It has an ombre look. Lots of glimmer and shimmer and shine. This is Parakeet Party. And this is the Pretty Tahitian Tide. And this is the very pretty Starry Sky. And as I said, those will be in the new annual catalog. Let's open this card up. I've even used a little bit of glimmer paper here for the stopper, and it says wish you were here. So I thought we would walk through making how to make this card. It's really simple, especially if you made an easel card before. There'll be no problem at all. But I thought we would do this one because on each of these I did some masking. I masked this image to add the background. The same with this. I masked this image to add the background. And as I told you, I masked this image to add the wallpaper and the flooring. So, but for this card, let's see what we're going to need. Be needing a card base. And the card base, the way I make easel cards, I may do it a little differently than some, but I have a card base, and this card base is 8 1/2 by 4 1/4 And I've scored it actually at 2 4 1/4. And then you will fold it just like you do for any card in the center. And then do a mountain fold on the 2-inch score line. And this is the mechanism. We'll take this is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And this is the mechanism that will act as to hold your focal image so you can do the easel. Okay, so those are for the card base. And then you're going to need, I am using shimmery white paper as opposed to basic white, because I thought everything with the glimmer paper was so shimmery. I just thought there might be nice to have a little shimmer to the rest of the card. So this is for the inside. And then we're going to need another piece of cardstock of the Orchid Oasis. And this is 3 by 2 1/2. I have to think about that. And that is going to be the mat for our focal image. And then we're going to need a piece of the shimmery white cardstock that is 2 1/4 by 2 1/2, and that's what we're going to stamp our focal image on. And I stamped this in the Memento Tuxedo Black. And then we're going to need this piece, which is the glimmer paper, and it's cut at 4 by 4, and it goes right in here. And I'm sorry, did I say this was 4 1/4? This is 4 by 4 as well. And then you need a piece of the glimmer paper that is 1 inch by 4 inches and scored at 1/2 of an inch. However, since this is glimmer paper, I found it's much easier to score it on the back side. That way your scoring tool won't run up against all these little bumps from the glimmer. And then what you're going to do with this is you're going to put some tear and tape here, or you can also use just any kind of adhesive. But I found just the tear and tape just kind of seems to hold this a little bit better. So that's what we need to put this card together. So first let's get our focal image. We're going to mask. Here's my mask. Like I said, I used a mask for all 3 of these cards, and I just stamped the image on just some scrap printer paper. You could also use a Post-it note. And we're just going to press it right down there. And we're going to do a little blending with our blending brushes. For this background, I wanted something that was similar to the Orchid Oasis, but I didn't want it quite as dark. I did want it to contrast a little. So what I did was I got some Highland Heather ink and some Balmy Blue ink and my blending brushes. And with a very light hand and not a whole lot of ink, I just started putting some Highland Heather ink on the piece of cardstock. Of course, we have our image is all masked, so we're doing good here. And when I felt that I had just about a right amount on there, and it doesn't matter if it's all covered with the same density. You may have some darker spots and lighter spots, and that's fine. It adds to the look. Then we take some Balmy Blue. That's what I like about these blending brushes. You can kind of blend your own colors, and with a very light hand, because this Balmy Blue got away from me pretty quick. I just kept going over the Highland Heather. Yesterday it worked. We'll see how it does today. Seems to be taking on a little bit of a different hue, and that's okay. Just going to keep going. Oh, I think I could have used just a little bit more of the Highland Heather. I just do that. I'll need to open it up, I think. Yesterday when I did this, oh, it just went so quick and easy. It's taking a little longer today, but that's okay. I think I may add a little more of the blue and then call it good. There we go. There's just a little bit of a background for the cat. Now another thing that I did on my image right here is the cat and some of these larger white areas I went over with Wink Estella. So if you would like to do that, you may certainly do that. But now we'll put on by your mask, just save that and put it in the stamp box, and you will have that for next time. Going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of our image here. There we go, and now we'll get our card base. We'll put the glimmer paper. Right on here, center it up, maybe. And then we will put this right here, and I'm going to use some dimensionals for that, but I'm going to use the sides because I want to make sure that this image will be able to really be held by the glimmer paper. Sometimes adhesive doesn't do all that well on some glimmer paper. I haven't really had that much trouble with this, but I just like to make sure. So we'll put quite a bit. Some nice long strips on here. And that ought to get it through the mail and help it stay on there a good long time. Just cut a little piece here for the center. That doesn't want to. There we go. And we'll take all the backings off. And we are ready to position it. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put, normally I would say stamp this before you put it in here, and you can. I'm going to stamp Wish You Were Here down here towards the bottom But I really like, when I make these cards, I really like to have my inside adhered down, or at least place it down. And then be able to place my stopper, as I call it, and I have one here that I've adhered together. I like to see where it's going to be. So if you want to adhere it down, great. If you don't want to, in case you make a mistake, that's great too. It's up to you. But we're going to use some of the Orchid Oasis to stamp the sentiment. Yeah, we'll try it not adhered. See how I do with that. And this I found I like to stamp it off because it's a little moist. It's a new pad. So move this up here, I think just a little more. Okay. And straighten it up a bit. There we go. There's our wish you were here. Now we can adhere it. Isn't that pretty? I just think this is a really pretty color. Okay, do our adhesive. And then we need to put adhesive here at the bottom. I'll put some here. And then this is where we place this, our card front. To kind of line it up. Press down. Now we need our stopper. And like I said, this one's adhered together. And on the back, I put some tear and tape. So we'll take the backing of that off. See, I just think the tear and tape holds this glimmer paper, especially on the glimmer paper side. I just think it holds it better. There's that. And I think I might, I think one strip will do. Okay, so we'll put this, I'm going to move that up just a little, right there. And there's our card. Didn't take very long now, did it? So that's how I made what I call my mini easel card. There's the one we just made. There's that one. And here's this one. And this one. And again, this is the Sit, Stay, Relax stamp set. And there's the mask. And some of my dimensional backing. And like I said, I just put my mask right in here inside my stamp case. I want to thank you for joining me, and I just want to remind you that I do have a corresponding blog post for this video, and in that blog post you will find all the supplies and cutting dimensions for these cards. And there will be a link to that blog post in the description of this video. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and until next time, stamp happy!